like that it's going on a hunt for the perfect candidate and fulfilling those needs for a client. Like it just in the general hunt.
Yeah, I would say the thing that I find the most fulfilling about recruiting is like the aspect that I can build teams that build badass products. I think at the end of the day, like every single time I'm recruiting, I'm recruiting for a purpose. And every time I'm recruiting with a purpose, it's like with the goal in mind that I'm helping build kind of the next and greatest thing. I'd say when I'm working with startups, I feel a lot more fulfilled recruiting in that world than enterprise companies. Yeah, sometimes I guess it's like being a repo carsman, but instead it's all online, and I don't have to show up to their house, and I don't know how to.
And it's good news. So
It's
like the opposite
like
of a
opposite.
repo man.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of a repo man. It's like
I don't know. When we used to do it for my old company, it was like when you found the perfect person, whether they knew it or not, was convincing them that it was the perfect match. Because we knew it was the perfect person, and we knew the perfect person was going to succeed because it was a perfect match.
Yeah, I would say one of my favorite roles that I ever recruited on was specifically with this startup that was building an ad technology platform. And it was really small. There were probably about 25 people at the time, and they were looking for a principal product manager to kind of reamp their DSP ads platform. And I was able to find somebody that helped build YouTube, sell YouTube to Google, went over to Johnson & Johnson as a director, and then went over to Amazon. And he was a principal product manager that helped scale up all of their ads across all of the Amazon services. And you know, the guy was making like $1 million a year, and there was something addictive about going out, finding somebody that's making $1 million a year and convincing that person to go to a startup where they were only going to make like $195,000 salary plus a bunch of monopoly money with the hope that this thing was going to scale and grow into something special. And since that guy joined that company, they've raised almost $500 million in funding. And there's something really addicting about being able to go find that person that's built, scaled these large organizations, take them out, put them into a new board as a chess piece for another organization, and then just watching them grow into something super special. I'd say that's probably one of my favorite things about recruiting is like, if you find the right people, it could transform everything. I'd say the things that allowed Nxt Level to grow exponentially is bringing on the right customers that allow us to genuinely feel like a partnership. So what has not worked is bringing on customers that feel like we're a service, feeling like we're just a resume trafficking shop, feeling like we're just a number on the board. Like the more integrated that we can be with our customers to truly feel like we're a partner, the better that we are. So in a lot of ways, what's the best thing that's ever happened to Nxt Level? It's like genuinely learning when and how to say no to the wrong clients, to the wrong candidates, to the wrong internal staff, and learning how to say no has probably been the thing that's been the most valuable. And it's interesting because I think that anybody that's ran a business, anybody that's been an entrepreneur in the past, I think that saying yes to too many things, while there is a rhyme, there is a reason, and there is a place, learning how to be able to say no to specific things to allow yourself to exponentially grow start to become really important. So when I'm screening a candidate, one of the things that I'm looking for the most is motivation. At the end of the day, I think that there are people that care about money, and money happens to be table stakes. Like it is what it is, but that's not like the underlying thing. Like there are things where people put themselves into positions, whether it's like their car, their house, their daily, their monthly, their weekly finances. Like there's a certain compensation expectation that happens to be table stakes. And so that's just a very black and white. It is what it is, or it's not. But outside of that, it's like truly understanding somebody's mission and their culture and how it's going to be able to align with that organization, and making sure that we can understand, can they integrate with a team properly? I think technical skills, in a lot of ways, they are what they are. Technical skills are a table stake. They either have them or they don't. And so for us, when we're truly calibrating candidates, it's all around culture, and it's all around, will this person match the team? I think technical fit and comp, like those are table stakes. Those are kind of bare minimums. It's the rest in which we need to uncover to truly add value to our customers. I don't like, and that's why I don't believe that we'll ever be replaced with AI. I think AI is going to be able to allow us to grow. I think it's going to be able to allow us to be more human and to use our human skills more to identify the table stakes and then truly start to isolate on the culture, mission, values, things like that.
Character. Personality. Yeah. Same thing. It's like we've all had jobs that were really good and we enjoyed them. Most often we think of the people we worked with, the culture that it was in, less about like what we were selling, building. You know, if you're a carpenter and you're building houses or you're building large apartment complexes or you're building a stadium, you're still nailing nails, but do you enjoy the people you work with? And that's such a general, stupid, I like the people, but I'm not talking like the people. It's, do you get along with the people and have a similar value and mission to them? Do you enjoy going to work because they're the types of people that woke up early to get in a workout because that's who they are, and they care about their bodies and they care about winning at everything they do? Or are they, you know, when they leave work, what are they like? Not just their hobbies, but what are they like as people? And that's what we, you know, oftentimes spend a lot of time on. We have a few clients who, one is a really relatively faith-based company. And so we want people that match that and enjoy that. We have another one that like, they almost joke that they're almost a cult because everyone either hunts, fishes, they're outdoorsy. Now, they are not a rod and reel manufacturer, but all of the people are outdoorsy and they live to be in the outdoors. And so if you don't like that, you might be technically really good as an engineer, but you're not going to connect with the people.
I think that one stands out a lot to me. Like that particular client, I kind of love that statement where they were like, hey, you know, I'm not going to say that we're a cult, but we're kind of a cult. Like we care about hunting, we care about fishing, we care about hiking. Like at the end of the day, if you don't like to hunt, fish, or hike, like the odds of you enjoying what we do as team activities, the odds of you enjoying the proverbial like banter throughout the hallways, even though they're a predominantly remote organization, but like that's how they socially connect. And they've found that that's their core, that those types of people are the ones that add value to their customers and add value internally. And I like to think that any company that's truly growing and thriving, I think everybody could say that. Everybody could say, well, we're kind of a cult, but we're not a cult. But it's like, well, what does it mean to be a part of in our case, like, what does it mean to be a part of the Next Level cult? What does it mean to be a part of the EOR cult? What does it mean to be a part, like, I'm sure Facebook has its very specific identity. I'm sure that, you know, Zillow has its very specific identity. And if you can truly break that down, that's where things start to get real special.
Yeah, I think it's probably more prominent the smaller you are. You know, you get to 50,000 employees, and that's why people don't love working for massive companies like that, because they don't feel like they get to be a part of a cult. It's just a business card.
I mean, look at Google. They've got the little twilly hat. Like, talk about a cult. Like, they got all that. They got that dumb little.
Never worked at Google.
I just watched the internship. The little nooglers. I think somebody that makes a great leader, for better or worse. Great power comes great responsibility. But at the end of the day, it's like somebody that leads an initiative that like inspires people to perform at their best, and leading with inspiration rather than leading with fear. I think far too often, and if, you know, it being in an election year, I always get really, really frustrated with the presidential campaigns because it feels like it's always leading through fear versus leading through inspiration to inspire people to do better. And so I'm always drawn towards people that lead through inspiration and get you to try to perform your best and to figure out what that truly means and allow you to make mistakes and have room for making mistakes to be able to truly independently grow, I think is important. But that's what I aspire to be, and that's what I look for.
I think consistency is really key. When I picture the leaders, I've been blessed with some very good leaders, my dad being one of them. It was like extreme consistency. They were like the rock. At least for me, whenever I was in a position of the follower, was, you know, you go through major peaks and valleys, and although the leaders always do, that's why I've always said being in a leadership role can be really
lonely.
Very lonely. Yeah, it's a very lonely role because you go through peaks and valleys too, but you just have to internalize it and stay consistent and stay as the rock. So I think consistency, especially emotional consistency, is really important as a leader.
Clear direction and clear vision. I mean, at the end of the day, I think clear direction, clear vision, inspiration for people to do their best, giving people space to be able to make mistakes and have autonomy through that, and then all of the other things that you just said.